With just a raised palm, the White Lady telepathically lifted Oleander Jr. towards her and grabbed him by the collar. Oleander Jr. wasn't happy with it and kept on yelling profanities at the White Lady. To shut him up, the White Lady headbutted the President to sleep. He was accidentally dropped on top of a car when the Viper Queen flew up and tackled the White Lady. The two went toe-to-toe. The Viper Queen, at full strength, was able to dodge lightning strikes shot off from the fingers of the White Lady. The Viper Queen tore off car parts and other large objects towards the White Lady, and when she wasn't looking, jumped towards her with all her venomous claws out. She didn't even get to touch the White Lady, as when she was about to land a blow, she was held in mid-air, choking. The White Lady's power was just too great for the Viper Queen. In her panic, the Viper Queen ordered her minions to bomb the White Lady. In the middle of the explosions, the White Lady momentarily lost her concentration and had to let go of the Viper Queen. When the dust had settled, they were all gone, including Oleander Jr. It was the darkest 1 a.m. in the history of the country. People locked up in their homes, all hungry and scared when they should be sleeping in peace. The ones that had been cicadas for a while have just started to go back to what should have been their homes previously. But as part of a deal of having their bodies be turned into cicadas, their homes have now been prepped to be turned into hubs where new machines will be set up so that more people can be turned into cicadas remotely. Because of the blackout, these machines have been rendered useless in the meantime. With the help of the Apophis, Oleander Jr. was able to broadcast to the entire country using radio waves. The silence of the night became heavier as people listened to Oleander Jr. In his message, he announced that he was the only one that had survived a coordinated incursion targeting him and the chairman. The Owl and the White Lady were the masterminds. They were the ones that had done all of these damages in the city. They had orchestrated all these conversions. However, as the people listened in, they suddenly remembered the president promoting the conversions himself, announcing to the country that he and the chairman had partnered up in order to unify the country. As the announcement went on, more and more people got divided. A lot of them have had enough of the bullshit. They have lost their homes and dignity for all of this. Yet, there were still others that wanted to keep their guard up and swallow their pride and fully support Oleander Jr. Owl watched and listened in at the top of a radio tower. On his way back into the city, he took his fabricator and printed out a rudimentary version of a communicator. That way, the people that worked with him could contact him. Right in the middle of the announcement, the communicator started to vibrate inside his pocket. It was his father, Brent. He asked if he was still going to go through his plan, if he was certain that this war is what he'd want. Owl knew that his father was just worried, but they both knew that this is what the country needed. The people needed to be pushed, so they could believe that fighting back is possible. It was what they both believed. As the broadcast was being played on speakers all over the country, Owl flew down a gasoline station. It was quiet and dark. He turned his head and saw the station employees hiding inside one cashier desk. One of them, with a shaky voice, asked, "What are we going to do?" Right on cue, a naked man walked by. Clearly, one of those that had previously been turned into cicadas. "Give me some of your clothes," the owl finally said. "Start helping survivors. is what we'll do." After the gas station attendant started looking for survivors and giving them clothes, Owl took 2 containers filled with gasoline and flew up into the black sky. Even though it was already very obvious that Oleander Jr. was full of shit and was trying really hard to backtrack and act like the victim and not an accomplice in all of this disaster, there were still people out there that weren't sure what to do, which was understandable. No one who has a lot to lose wants to jump into a war. Even those with absolutely nothing, the poor, didn't feel like they were important enough to fight for their very own freedom. People were too traumatized and tired, afraid to even look out their windows. Oleander Jr. was now nearing the end of his speech. He was intending to impose another martial law, just like his father. It was his perfect opportunity to regain control of everything. With the Viper Queen right at his side, he will finally be unstoppable. Suddenly, one of the giant cicada statues went up in flames. A gigantic bonfire lit up the city. People in the dark were blinded by the amber light coming through their windows. Not long after, another cicada statue started to burn, and another. In just a few minutes, the statues that represented oppression and control were blazing and collapsing. That's when people opened their windows to see what was going on. Oleander Jr. choked on his words and looked out his window, where a statue was also burning. In one of the cities where there was a cicada statue, people saw a man in black holding what looked like a bottle. The entire statue reeked of gasoline. Owl turned his head and looked around. People were still scared, but they were opening up their windows and doors to find out what was going on, like waiting for a signal. Owl lit up the cloth hanging out of the mouth of the bottle and threw it towards the statue, setting it ablaze. People screamed in celebration and joined in. Every tech and cicada-related object was thrown into the fire. People started to come out of their homes, both rioting and helping out the people that were naked in the cold. The once black evening was now lit up in flames, constantly fueled by the rage of the people.